I am Pekka Kemppainen from Karhula Foundry, Finland, and I'm there as a shareholder and managing director.
So I really liked your presentation because I'm a fan of clear words, and I think sometimes that's missing in the foundry industry because it's sort of blah blah blah. So I think there was a really nice approach you had. And now I was thinking you criticized the government and the politics quite a lot. You spoke about kind of like the black sheep industry, it's not taking so important, young people are supposed to go into IT. So what do you want from the government, what do you wish as support?
I wish the government and also all the organizations who are making decisions concerning research and development and training to show this picture that most of industries need castings. So casting is like food, everybody needs food. So it has to be as an essential part of it's like a backbone of metal industry. If we want to have metal industry, we need to have castings, foundries, and also the foundry suppliers and so this is to see the importance. At the moment, I see the attitude even in these developing countries is such that they think that castings are so cheap. They are so easy components, and everywhere in the world is extra capacity. Everybody can make them because people have made castings 3,000 years. So, and this is wrong because by improving the properties of castings, we can improve the properties and the money-making capabilities of different equipment. For instance, we can increase the strength to get lighter components. We can increase the corrosion resistance to get pumps and valves which last much longer in acid and all those very aggressive environments. We can get different kind of aluminium, magnesium components. We are so light that you can make aerospace and so because the properties of and the capability to solve problems of these many machines and equipment, it comes from their components. And castings are the essential part of components. But I understand that this is not so. It's not so. They say it's not so sexy. It's not so. IT is much more interesting because everybody can talk about IT without knowing anything about it. But when you start to talk about castings, you should know something to know at least that is it metal or is it plastic or whatever. So that's to take seriously the importance of casting components. And from that to start, do we need research and development? For instance, in many countries there is not a single foundry professor who could. For instance, in Finland we have one, but all the time it's a pressure. We should change this into IT and so on to close it. And even in countries like Germany, in Germany we have 100,000 foundry people. About 20,000-30,000 engineers and technicians. And every year we get from universities and technical high schools about 20 new engineers, which is nothing. So that's why then the engineers whom we are taking to foundry industry, they come from totally different industries. Of course, they are very capable to learn new things, but it would be necessary to have also training for foundry people.
And do you know any things we could do to get young people interested in this topic?
We need to show that there are interesting technologies. There is this, all these IT and so things, they can be implemented into foundries as well. And we have metallurgy is very interesting topics. What happens when you melt different things and then you pour it and it will change from liquid to solid, and then you heat treat it, it changes properties, and so it's maybe we should have such a TV series like those chefs have every country there, and then they have got a lot cook people to come to that food industry. So maybe we should have such a foundry dynasty, foundry family cases. How they are making the found castings, I don't know, but that's very important to keep this casting technology alive.
Yeah, actually, I was speaking to young people yesterday because there is this Metals for You tour around GIFA where they take young pupils from school and they show them around. And I interviewed a few of them and I asked them, so why did you decide to work in the foundry industry? And they said, oh, actually, I read about it on the internet at some point, and then I thought that sounds interesting, but I never heard about it before. So they had to find it themselves.
Yeah, this is again a very good example, so that if we as foundry people, we also have to do something to spread our knowledge and information through those channels which young people are following. But for instance, those foundries I am as owner and CEO, we are not active to put on our internet. We are not charming the local students and young people to come to visit and to see what it is, because many people have this old traditional thinking that foundry is a very, very dirty place, smoky place and noise and everything, and people are there working like hell and they get tired and then they are retired when they are not capable anymore work at 50 years old. But that's totally different. They are clean places, they don't smell anymore. For instance, I had a very good example in Estonia when the neighbors said that there's some smell coming from your foundry. I asked, what about if we change it as a pig farm? They said, no, never do it, because it is even worse. It's even worse. So foundries are reasonably good working places, and one thing what should charm young people is that you can do reasonably, you are reasonably free to do your job. You are not so that you have to sit in one place and to do this and this, but you can work as a member of the team, and it's you can be active and you learn a lot of things, and especially I have been talking in Finland about this, that we have about 10-20% of young people who are not very good to sit in school and to learn from books and so on. But they are very good if they get into handwork and they can learn through the work and through the senior workers. So and they want to do something, to get something done, not to sit and think. So I'm not saying that they are stupid or they are not so talented as those who are in university, but they like different things. And I would like them to have something to do in future, in factories and like farms. But we have very good experience when we have taken some youngsters as a summer work practicants. And then when they have seen it, what happens in foundry, what really happens so that you just take sand, you can take some binders, you make a mold which will last those 1600 degree centigrade melt, and when the melt goes there, you have to design how does it go, how does it solidifies, and then finally you see that, it's a beautiful casting, like this. And then when they see it, where it works, and when they see that, this part is this is actually keeping the whole truck or some big machine in as one piece. That's the backbone of that machine. This is something we do. They feel that they are important. They have done something important for the country.
Yeah, I agree. On the other hand, you show pictures of like this whole mold making process, and you were saying that if you imagine 10 years from now, it's going to be very different, that it's going to be automated, probably running 24/7. So how do you think those practices, how is it going to look like? How can I imagine it?
It's actually so that we have to make this automatization step by step. And now certain things have already happened. So all the drawings are in 3D CAD models, 3D solid models. And then when you start from that, you know exactly what is the shape of the casting and so on. And then you can put the robot to read it again and to adjust the coordinates according to that. And this is already available. So I think that this, and then the next step is to make the molds by automatic ones. Then to get, I have seen here on the exhibition, for instance, very good examples how you can have a flexible robot so that it will first take out the defect on the surface, then it takes another tool, it will weld it, and then it will grind it, and then it will take ultrasonic testing, it will test it and say okay. So these are the tools which I would like to challenge and invite young people who like technology to come in, so this is right. This is real IT, but it is IT which is suitable for making production more effective. And this is actually in all these presentations we could see that there are pieces, but we should just put them together. Somebody should build a completely automated foundry, and then to make a film of that and to show it to youngsters in schools and so on, so that this is the world where you could go. It's like a space program, because there are so many new technologies to. For instance, in Finland, we have got at least 20 engineers into foundry industry who are now at the age of 55, 65. This happened during 1990s when this casting simulation came into picture. So first, casting simulation programs came, of course, Magma here in Denmark, Germany, and then Finnish cast guy was there. And then young people in university, this is computerized production, and they came. Okay, now they are foundry directors. We just got them into foundry, and then they started to develop. We have to use these new technologies as an appetizer to young, talented people.
I agree, and also I was speaking to some other people now at the fair about cooperation between also the different industries. For example, somebody was saying that they started to employ techno-mathematicians, so those people would come into the company and they would take all the data machines collected that nobody really knows what to do with. I mean, you start to use them, but you could use them a lot more. And they were starting to implement artificial intelligence to make it automated again, to then connect machines and do machine learning and use neural networks and all of this stuff that not necessarily somebody working in a foundry would think so much about, but somebody from a different scene would think about it a lot. So I think this could be also nice to connect different industries together and to foster also the cooperation, which also probably would have to be state funded somehow, because we need programs for that.
Yes, and this, we have here, for instance, today we have seen that in many universities in Germany, France, Spain, also in Scandinavia, are such new programs which then are, and more I think EU has also seen this, that those programs should be such multi-country programs, that at least you have to have 3 countries and maybe 5 different companies, and that is something what spreads the knowledge when it goes to. So it's not only one company and one university who is but there are so many. For instance, we have now a very good program that's Green Foundry, European EU-funded project in which we have Italian foundry, Karhula Foundry in Finland. We have a Finnish university, Italian university, German institute, and then one foundry institute from Poland. And like this, and in every country it's happening a little bit different. But the topic is inorganic binder. How can we use it in iron and steel castings? At the moment it works perfectly with aluminium castings, but and in aluminium casting core making. So these kind of projects are okay. They are good, very good. Are they concerning R&D or education? Maybe this education could be better to get people from Germany to come to Finland and from Finland to come. So it makes them also to see that yes, this is international business. They don't need to be restricted to work only in Germany or in Finland. They can see that, all right, I can go to Spain. There's a similar business and people speak same languages. And
I agree. Also, yesterday, a lot of young people actually were saying that they would work anywhere in the world and they don't really care about staying.
They even like to work. They say that, like my youngsters' sons, when they were studying, they was in some states. We definitely go somewhere abroad, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to go to China in 2 weeks for China die casting. And China also played a big role in your presentation now. You were speaking a lot about the role of China. So can you tell me, what role does China have right now in the world and where is it going to be?
I started to work in China because I bought Mihanite worldwide company 1993. And I have seen the whole development of China. And everything started when Deng Xiaoping had this speech 1995 in which he said that China will be number one in economics, number one in politics, number one in military 2020. That was his statement. And I was almost laughing that from this country which is so low, very little developed and nothing worked and so on, how can it become in 25 years that kind of step? And we have to say that it's very close to be there. And China has taken very systematic government-ruled steps how to adopt new technology. One part is that companies have gone to China. Many European American companies have gone to China, installed the technologies there, and then the Chinese mentality and system is that if one company in China gets some advanced technology, it will be spread between similar companies in China without asking the original know-how owner. And this has happened, but also they have bought information, they have developed themselves. During the last 10 years, they have developed a lot themselves in universities and so on. So China has become the big player, very big player, and especially when we look the industry, metal industry especially. Steel, more than 50% of steel is made in China. Castings, tonnage-wise, is 50% is made in China. Although they not have 50% of population in the world. They have only 1/5 or something like that. And so China has become now, and they have, in different areas, they have in agriculture and so, they have such a policy to go to spread their influence all over the world. And actually now we have seen, and of course industry has developed, but there is still a gap between USA, Europe, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan in the quality and all those, and accuracy and in dimensions and so on between China. So they actually are making same components. But I have such saying about this Chinese system that same but different. So it is same China, but it's somehow its quality is different. It doesn't last as long, and that's why they need more knowledge still in China. And I believe that, and I know that they want to have then some cooperation, R&D, training cooperation between European countries, not so much between USA and China at the moment, because this political situation is what it is, but European and Chinese. So, and this is an opportunity for European companies, but we should be as selfish as the China government is. They think everything that they are one player and they play same game everywhere. And for instance, every student who has studied in China, he or she owes that studying to the government. He has to do some service to companies and government when he goes abroad. And this is something we forget. And I'm not saying that they are all spies, but it's their duty to do everything for their own homeland. And many people go back to China and start own business and so on. So China has become a giant player in this world, and it's very, very much dependent on how this balance between European industries and China will go during next 5-10 years. Because this speed, how it has changed during 25 years, and especially during the last 10 years, it's tremendous. I remember when I started to travel inside China, 1994 and so on, I was flying by a small airplane from Beijing, 1,500 kilometers west from Beijing, and I was sitting in such a propeller airplane, and there on front of me were boxes where were some chickens, and then some stereo boxes. There were then exit put there, and when we landed, we came to a small airport, and there were no lights on the traffic lights and no street lights. And I went to the foundry, which was a CSM foundry, best foundry in China already at that time. We started cooperation between Mihanite and them. And then I went there last time 10 years ago. We were flying by Boeing DC-9. Airport was a new one. 4-lane motorway went to the town. Everything was lights everywhere and hotels everywhere. And this had happened in 15 years. In first hotel, nobody knew how to use fax machine. I had to teach them how to use fax machine because I had to send, and nobody spoke English. And okay, so it is so huge development, and that will affect the world now and in future more and more. And now, during last, it was actually only 5 years ago, or even less, 3 years ago, when Americans noticed that, oh, now China has become our biggest enemy, not Russia. And so I think the key issue is that how can Europe play the game between China and Europe? Because we have to take account that there's USA, there's Russia also mixing this game. But we can also benefit both parties if this China-EU is the main axle or such a partnership. It will be a big question.
You were speaking about nuclear power. Can you tell me your opinion on nuclear power?
It is so that this nuclear power is actually, if we think that CO2 and these climate change is the key, that is the biggest driving force now, because we get more storms and everything is, and food problems in Africa, and so the climate change is the big issue. And then best thing to reduce CO2 emission in energy sector is to use wind, solar and nuclear, and of course hydropower. But hydropower is where it is. You cannot add number of rivers. But and nuclear power has got a bad reputation because of the Chernobyl accident, which was made by some politicians who were drunk, and they wanted to try how low they can put the output of the nuclear power plant, although it says that you cannot go below 70% of maximum. And they went down to 30%. And then all that heat, which you don't take as electricity out, it stays in that reactor, and then comes this China phenomenon. Boom. If they had not done this, we could have hundreds and hundreds more nuclear power plants in the world, and not so much CO2 emissions. Because then, when nuclear power program was stopped, for instance in Germany completely, it meant that you have to use more coal, more oil, gas, and so on, those fossil fuels. And now we have to turn this back, because we cannot burn anymore. Otherwise, we are in very, very big problems. And that's why I believe that even Germany has to turn around and start to build nuclear power plants in next couple of years. And this has already happened in Finland. So the Finland got a new government, which has also the Greens are in the government, and Greens have gone out from the government twice in the last 20 years, because government made the decision to build more nuclear power in Finland. Now they are in the government, and they accept that yes, we are giving the permission for new nuclear power plant. So this shows the change, because they say that climate change is the biggest thing, CO2 is the cause of that, we have to do something with it. Okay, we have to accept nuclear.
Okay. Oh, that's it already.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.